is a detailed overview, guys, for everything you need to know about raising Australian red claw crayfish. Well, that was going to be the video until someone killed half of our crayfish. Apparently red claw crayfish can't survive in tick and flea shampoo spray. Before you say, Lee, you absolute numpty, how did you actually poison your crayfish to death? I didn't do it, and obviously Toon didn't do it. She's far too sensible for that. For those of you who followed us on Facebook for a while will have seen the posts in our hour of need, but I'll talk you through the story, how it all happened. It started off, was having a really bad day prior to this, and Toon was pretty down, I have to say, being dragged from pillar to post by she who must be obeyed but never named. So she was off farm most of the day, came back absolutely ragged and depressed. So I said, come on missus, we'll go out date night. We haven't been out for a couple of months, just me and her. So went out for Mugatat, slap up meal, had 5 beers and waddled home. But because we're on the farm and obviously with a lot of livestock here, not just the crayfish, but of course we got all the goats as well on the island and all the fish as well. So whenever we go out, we have to get security. Paid the security guy, off he went. In the morning, I was doing the goat food. Toon was doing a usual trick or usual early morning job of watering her orchids that were along here. And then I heard the screams as I was shredding all the napier grass for the goats. She was like, oh, the crayfish are dying. Came back and you could get a real strong chemical smell of this. This bottle was there with the lid off. That bottle lives in the kitchen, always stays in the kitchen, don't have any chemicals near crayfish, it never ends well. And over half of it's gone. So we'd only used it a couple of times on Bebo, and you know how small Bebo is. She can only carry about 5 ticks at any one time, she's so small. So we immediately got into panic mode, stroke action mode, and pulled the plug on this. This is very, very high at the moment because it's soaking. It's been washed and rinsed so many times you won't believe. So as it was draining down, we got the old landing nets and we were just dragging that crayfish after crayfish out here. So these were all our big males, big females. Most of them were carrying eggs as well. Luckily, I'd already taken out about 30 and put them in tanks along here. I've since moved them. Thank God they were all right. So as we were taking them out of here, I was then transferring them to a big cement mixing bowl, which has never been used for mixing cement, I might add. Again, crayfish are so sensitive, but most of them were already dead. After a few minutes, we could actually see that the crayfish were all right from the night before, because I always check them when I come out to make the coffee in the morning. So it was definitely the hose pipe that had washed the chemical in there. Why that chemical was out, God only knows. Toon has tried to talk to the guy. The first 2 times she went round there, he wasn't there. Third time she went round there, he was, but he went straight in the house and refused to come out, even with his wife shouting at him. So he wouldn't even come and talk to Toon. Whether he was panicking that Toon was going to take him down to the police station and ask for sort of like compensation, I don't know, but that's not our bag anyway. You know, it's obviously been a terrible mistake, stroke brain fart. And as time goes by, obviously you start to piece things together, don't you? One of the orchid pots absolutely stunk to high heaven of this chemical. So whether he had sprayed that because of the bugs on it, we're getting a lot of mangy noon that eat our noni tree. All the leaves have left the noni tree now. They've all been eaten. So they've sort of like come round the house a little bit more. And unfortunately we forgot to leave him the fan out. So we've got 2 mobile fans that we normally leave outside night time if we have a security guy. So maybe the bugs got too much and he thought, well, I'll go spraying them. Whether he was trying to protect the orchid or not, we just don't know. But you could see, soon as we started to clean the tank down, the smell and all the it looked like a flipping someone had got a bottle of fairy washing up liquid bottle and just squeezed it into the tank. There was just foam everywhere. While we sort of like kicked into action, sort of like emergency, you could see that a lot weren't going to make it, and it was quite hard. It was quite hard emotionally, very, very angry, very confused at the start as well. But we just sort of like kicked into action. It's a bit like with the goats a few years ago when they got poisoned. Also when we had the triple dam break as well. So we're not adverse to reacting under sort of like disaster conditions, but it was trying to save as many as possible as quick as possible. And because they're so delicate, these crustaceans, we know from, I think we've been doing it 5 years, and that, you know, you only have to fart near the bowl and you'll kill one. So yeah, we knew we were up against it, but we managed to save about 25. So we've lost about 60, which is quite hard to take. Certainly is at the moment, because some of you know, this is what today was supposed to be a big update. We're rapidly scaling up our production to meet orders, and them getting so many inquiries now for large orders. So we've been really pushing the boat out, and the guys are working on an area for us today to increase production. We had more cement mixing bowls for hatching tanks ordered and all that sort of stuff, and air pumps and air stones, and now we've got incubators ordered. So yeah, it was sort of like the whole bottom lip was wobbling a little bit, but we've pulled through, and we're all right about it now. We've given up trying to find out exactly what happened with this guy. It's lessons learned, and we've had so many nice comments and opinions on Facebook, and people have messengers us, and sent emails, phone calls, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I know some people have said, oh, you should have security cameras up. We have had an issue once before where one of our crayfish went missing when we weren't here, one of our biggest ones, full of eggs. Yeah, I think on this occasion, even if we had got the security cameras up, although it would have sort of like clarified exactly how this disaster occurred, it might have actually made us more angry. And I think at the point of full anger, apparently I was throwing stuff around, I can't remember that, blacked out I think. Yeah, if I'd have gone in the house and started looking at CCTV footage, then we might have gone down to the police station. And you know, for someone that we've known for quite a few years, and they live in the village and it's a small village, then long term I think we would have, well certainly once we'd calmed down, we'd have probably regretted that. So yeah, I think on this occasion, I think it was just as well that we didn't have the security cameras. As far as learning from our lessons, yeah, he won't be coming back. So date nights are going to be a little bit more infrequent. Luckily, one of the guys that's working with us is one of our regular, well, he's our main man. This was another thing that I was going to talk to you all about. Toon and I were trying our best to convince him not to go back to work in Bangkok and work away. He's like a builder stroke foreman. And we were trying to come to an agreement where, you know, he could stay home in our in the village with his family and earn slightly less, but get a day's work from us 6 days a week. But I don't know. Now we've lost half of our crayfish. We might have to put that back a few months. So yeah, it's really set us back, but it's also energised us as well. Although we did feel very, very knackered because we did some long hours. I think we've cleaned this tank out 3 times. It's on its last soak now, so when it gets drained down this afternoon, I'm going to rinse it down one more time, and then we're going to fill it back up. I mean, it's super full at the moment. We just wanted to make sure that the whole area has been absolutely scrubbed to death and clean as a whistle. We'll only refill it about that sort of depth. Crayfish don't need a lot of depth. Every single pipe work, I'll just show you that. This is just a small portion of it. All of it has been scrubbed on the outside. That was thick with algae. Now, a lot of you that have watched our crayfish videos over the years will know that you leave your algae on. Same when you clean your tank out. The last thing you do is take out your algae. That's what the crayfish eat. So crayfish, although they don't eat a huge amount of food, they are pretty much non-stop eating very small particles of algae, zooplankton, that sort of thing. So yeah, we don't like to take the algae out. We normally just drain the tank and sweep the detritus out and then refill it. So we've been really meticulous with taking every bit of algae off the tank on the sides and the bottom. Also on the blue pipe work, as I said, that is just like a small fraction. But on the positive side of things, because as you guys know, me and Toon aren't down for very long, I took the opportunity to increase our, is it effectiveness? So we've now bundled them. So when we come to check the buried females, so the females with eggs, we can check 3 at the same time. It also stops them doing the housekeeping. What I mean is sometimes the crayfish, they'll fight a little bit, or they're not happy with how the house is and they'll flip it over or they'll spin it round. So it's a little bit more robust. It also increases the volume of housing. So we've gone vertical now as well as along the bottom. So obviously you can only fit in so many crayfish over a certain surface area. So if you can increase your vertical area volume, then all good. It's also good for the crayfish to crawl out as well. Certainly when they're shedding, molting, getting rid of their exoskeleton. Some of them like to climb out, and apparently it helps to harden their shells off a little bit quicker. So there's one positive. There's not many of us really. I think more than anything it's sort of like, I don't know, when you've had a kick in the nuts, it's sort of like spurs you on to grit your teeth and sort of like, you know, carry on and improve things. So yeah, let's go and show you over the other side, because this is just the one area. Now it's a little bit noisy because we've got air pumps running, so we've got a new air pump down here. This was the tank where we were putting all of the crayfish in to start with. Water changes are like every 15 minutes, so as they're cleaning the gills, obviously they would have been contaminating the water quality. So we kept on using 2 tanks here, and then after a while, some that were looking a little bit better we were putting into here. What I did notice, we learned loads. We learned absolutely loads in sort of like 36 hours. Even the crayfish that were motionless and upside down, that looked dead, if you started inverting them the right way up again, some of them would come round. The ones that didn't come round, this is the next thing that absolutely amazed me, would take them out and put them in the bucket, and I was going to throw them for food into the lake. Obviously they had been purged a little bit before that, so you know the chances of them killing the catfish were quite low. Yeah, I just put them in a bucket to one side. About half an hour later, went to pick up the bucket. I was like, hang on a minute, there's one moving there. There was about 3 or 4 out of about 30 or 40 that time that come back round. So I put them back in the nursing tank. 2 of them didn't make it, but 2 of them did. So never give up on a crayfish, even if they're telling you that they're dead. So that was it for that day. We just had these 2 tanks. During the day we had these other 4 tanks delivered. You might be thinking, well, why didn't you just put all your crayfish, split them out in there and get your air stones running? Well, we'd have probably killed them if we'd put them straight into these tanks. So we always soak these. We always put the banana skins in there, not banana skins but banana plant, and leave them for 2 to 3 days. Clean, rinse, refill, and then go again. So what we've done since, well, I think we had 2 small girls die yesterday. I think it's because this is so overcrowded. So there's about 25-30 in here. We haven't had a count of yet. yeah, so the two smallest ones, they just get battered by the others. So what I did from over there, look at the place, it's an absolute tip. You should have seen it on Armageddon Day. We emptied all those tanks into these here. So we've got several in here, and these have all got eggs on. So this air stone, we're running 6 air stones off a pump up there. Quickly rigged up the old solar panel there, but it's enough. Crayfish don't need air stones running all the time, but we want to make sure that everything's happy. So yeah, we got that running, and we've got another 3 running in here. We've got some more pregnant females in there. This one's just started to hatch today, so she'll be coming out. So it's great that we got a bit of oomph behind us, and we kept on pushing on with what we wanted to do. But there was one other thing which is going to be huge, hopefully, touch wood, in the future, and that's egg incubation. So 4 pregnant females that died, I stripped the eggs off them and quickly went on YouTube and had a look at how to set up a DIY egg tumbler. So in here we've got some eggs in there. They're just slightly vibrating. Not sure if they're gonna make it. These are going round nicely, but I have to be honest, this is 4 days on. Sorry about the noise, guys, but I don't want to turn these off. They're not going to make it. But what it did enable me to do was actually get started on it. And while I was on Lazada looking for the new air pump for the air stones, I noticed egg incubators or egg tumblers for about 150 baht each. So I said to Tony, it's not even worth me trying to make them. Let's get 3, strip some berries off the pregnant females that we know are okay. So they're ones that are in the tank over there, and let's just do it. So this is one of the ideas for the future, actually selling juvenile crayfish in huge numbers. So the tricky thing is actually having the room to hatch them out. So rather than loads and loads of different tanks, we can put a load of egg tumblers in one tank and hatch them out that way. So it's really exciting stuff if you're a bit crayfish geeky like me. You know, it's quite humbling sometimes, you know, when you're having a really bad day. We were so on a high with our crayfish. We just thought, this is really going places now. And that's not like me and Toom. Normally with the things that we do on the farm, it's really sort of like everything to feed us with a little bit to spare, whereas the crayfish is really starting to go like that. So it did knock us right down. But you guys certainly help, and we're not down for long, and a lot of that is down to you. Right, I've got a shout out for, well, quite a few people really, but big shout outs obviously to the farm legends themselves. My mum, she's always at the end of the phone when we need her, and you know, words of wisdom, calms me down, that sort of thing. Chris is always there to take the piss. You know, stop moaning, pick your bottom lip up, and that sort of thing. Colin and Marietta, we had a lovely video call with them. And then, as I said before, the comments that we've been getting on Facebook and Messenger has been brilliant. And I would like to point out one particular one, and I bet you're sitting there watching this with your son David. That's right, Frank Robinson. You're sitting there with David, your son, aren't you? And he told me one of your famous sayings that you, over the years, you like to give you pearls of wisdom, and I've got to try and remember it now. It's on my phone. It's so unprepared, aren't I? But it's along the lines, for every big disaster there'll always be some, at least very small, gem that you can take from it, which you turn into a positive. And I think that's a classic example of what's happened here the last few days. You know, the positives are, well, we know we need a new security guard. We know we need to lock up the tick shampoo or spray from anyone. And sometimes, you know, you've got more energy and drive than you think you have. So it took a bit of a disaster for us to push on even more. I probably wouldn't have even started egg incubating if this hadn't have happened. You know, it would have probably been about another 2 or 3 weeks down the line. It might have been another few weeks before we'd got the extra air pump and that sort of thing. So Frank, nice one, totally agree with you. Thanks David for spilling the beans on it. And you're saying that you might be coming over to Thailand in the future. Hopefully we'll get to meet up and see you in the flesh, mate. What a day, eh? I was going to do this about an hour ago. You wouldn't believe what happened. While we were at the out on date night at the Mooga Tap video, some of you will have seen the photos on Facebook. They had 7 kittens that were born at the restaurant, and the mum just disappeared. And Toon was nagging me all night if we could take one. I got asthma and she's allergic to cats as well. So I said, no dear, you know, as lovely as they were, no. Anyway, last night, we could hear this, what we thought was a squeaking frog that a snake had got. The dogs were going crazy for ages and ages, couldn't find it. And then Toon was just about to go uptown to get some chicken food for our new chickens. So there's more updates coming. Heard this squeaking again. I was like, oh, flipping, another snake again. Toon goes, oh my God, turn round. There was this little black face just looking around the corner of the fish tank. And it's a kitten, all black kitten. So Charcoal, she's been named. And it's only asthma, innit? But she'll be staying. So yeah, she's eaten us out of our Sonoma sardines already. She's off into town, get the chicken food and get some milk. I don't know what else cats needs. There you go. Lovely, isn't it? It's meant to be, isn't it? Can't turn away a stray animal that's in need. It's a bit like me, really, a bit of a stray. Cheers, guys.